Franklin, born March 25th, 1942, grew up in Detroit, Michigan, began her career as a child singing gospel in Detroit, where her father was a minister. By the 60s, she had already gained the title of the Queen of Soul. She went on to record a total of 112 charted singles on the Billboard, including 77 Hot 100 entries, 17 top 10 pop singles, over 100 R&B entries, and 21 R&B singles, becoming the most charted female in the chart's history. She won 18 Grammys, sold over 75 million records, and was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1987, and she passed away today at the age of 76. Tawatha Agee used to be a backup vocalist for the Queen of Soul, and she's on the line now. Hi, Tawatha.
Hi, how are you?
First of all, my condolences on the loss.
Thank you. A major loss for the world.
Absolutely. What was Aretha like? What was your time with her like?
Well, I started working with Miss Franklin in 2010 live, but before that, I sang on songs that she had recorded by Luther Vandross, like Jump to It and Get It Right. And she wanted the same singers working with her live that worked with Luther. So I was one of those singers. So I had the honor of working with her since like 2010. And it's every performance was a learning experience. It's like, you take notes because you're in the presence of royalty. You're in the presence of a queen. And she was very funny. And even towards the end, she could still sing. I worked with her at her last live performance, which was the Elton John AIDS a tribute.
Right.
And she was very frail, but her voice was still amazing. So, it was a wonderful thing just to see her work and hear her work, because sometimes as a singer, I say I was in the audience watching the Queen perform, because I was so she was my idol since a little girl, like a lot of, like millions of other little girls. Aretha Franklin was my idol, and to have an opportunity to be on the same stage and singing with her was just a distinct honor that no one can ever take away from me.
Tawatha Agee, one of Aretha Franklin's former backup vocalists. What I found so cool was that the state of Michigan declared her voice a natural resource back in the 80s. And it's true, there really is no one else that had that power, that much soul. I mean, there's a reason she had that title, the Queen of Soul, right?
No, she definitely earned that. I mean, from a very early age. I mean, no one can do what she did. I mean, she could touch you. She touched. There's not a heart or soul that wasn't touched by the voice of Aretha Franklin, and I just got more of an opportunity to hear it than most people, because I was working with her. But it was such an honor, and it was such a learning experience, because you never stop learning. So if I'm in the presence of someone that I idolize, and I consider her the queen of all the singers, it's like it was such a pleasure, and it's like I can't even believe that she's gone, because she left such a body of music until we'll be hearing Aretha for the rest of our lives.
In that sense, it's almost like she'll never be gone, right?
Because never, ever be gone. No.
Do you think
such memorable songs? The Say a Little Prayer. She did great covers. Respect. I mean, it's just. I mean, everybody can connect with something that she's done.
And it's funny, because when people hear Respect, they think of the Aretha version. And I don't even think a lot of people realize that's an Otis Redding song.
That's an Otis Redding song. But she did it and just turned the whole definition of the song around, and then it became an anthem.
Yeah.
It became an anthem. So, she could do that with a song. She could definitely do that with a song.
Do you think she realized what sort of an impact she had on the world, being the first woman inducted into the Hall of Fame, all those Grammys and all those singles?
Amazing, yeah.
The unreal body of work that she produced. Do you think she realizes just how important that was?
You know what? In one respect, I would say yes, but in the other, she was just like the regular lady. She was your neighbor next door. That's how she wanted to be considered. But with all that talent, I mean, I don't even know if that would be realistic because, you are the queen. I mean, you are the queen. And, I think she felt both ways. I felt that she was the queen sometimes, and then the other time she just wanted to be the girl next door.
And she sort of started out as a girl next door. She had kind of, the kind of start at life that I think a lot of people wouldn't recover from, becoming a mom at just the age of 12, then having another kid at the age of 14. I think for a lot of people to go from, that difficult start at life to the level of stardom and success that she achieved, it's an inspiration for, I think, a lot of people.
It's an inspiration for everyone. I mean, to start like that and just to make something out of her life, to become so well known. And still be mom, you know what I'm saying? It's a hard start, but what she accomplished was amazing, just simply amazing.
Can you share maybe one of your favorite memories of Aretha Franklin during the time that you worked with her?
Well, let's see. With Aretha, there was one occasion where we were in the dressing room, and it was after the show. Everyone had gotten out of their costumes and things like that, and so she was just like resting, and so she had on these slippers. She had on Louis Vuitton slippers, and I walked in the room because she was very funny, and I said, "Oh, you have on Luther Vandross slippers," and she says, "Oh, you're real funny." So I mean, she would do things like that, and we would go to Detroit and record, and she'd have this big spread. She just wanted everyone to enjoy the experience and enjoy the food, and it was a family atmosphere.
Tawatha Agee, one of Aretha Franklin's former backup singers, thank you so much for coming on with us and sharing a little bit about what kind of a woman she was.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Long live the queen. There'll never be another. Never.
Thank you, Tawatha. Queen of Soul.
Thank you.
Passing away today at the age of 76. We'll let her take us out.